Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's July 24th, 2018. We have breaking news out of Israel this morning. Syrian Air Force violation of Golan buffer zone led to Israel shooting down one of Syria's Russian-made jets. Israel Patriots downed a Syrian fighter 2 kilometers, which is just around a mile inside Israel on Tuesday, DEBCA files. The intrusion stemmed from Syria's insistence on its freedom to fly over the buffer zone, as defined in the 1974 disengagement account, and Israel's abstention from raising a challenge to this claim. This incident also accentuated the Israel-Russian dispute over the interpretation of this accord. The IDF statement after the event affirmed Israel's military vigilance and high state of preparedness for responding to violations of the accord. But Moscow and Damascus have a different take on the meaning. On July 19th, DEBCA reported, in the view of the Assad regime, any Israeli attempt to down Syrian planes over the buffer zone would be deemed as Israeli violation. Syrian aircraft may only be attacked when crossing into Israeli airspace, hence the high significance of the account that the plane was downed by an Israel Patriot and dropped on Syrian Golan Heights soil. Now that was reported this morning around 1400 hours, which is about 1 or 2 p.m. in the afternoon Israel time, or 3 to 4 a.m. early this morning Seattle time. Israel military says Syrian plane shot down after crossing the Golan Heights line. Tuesday, Israel said it shot down a Syrian warplane that entered its airspace over the Golan Heights as internal fighting just across the border intensified during a Syrian regime offensive to retake the rebel areas. The Israeli military said it fired 2 Patriot missiles at the Syrian Sukhoi fighter jet that crossed around a mile into Israel. It said there had been an increasing in fighting in the northern border, including intensified Syrian Air Force activity. The pilot of this plane, I guess, was a colonel, and they do believe that he ejected, but he is still missing, and they do not know what has happened to this fighter pilot from Syria. Okay, let's go on to the next clip. Okay, all of these actions here were all of the alarms that were being monitored and set off all over the Golan Heights this afternoon. Sirens sounding, 13:42, which is about 1:42 in the afternoon, Israel time. Sirens all over. According to the IDF spokesperson, the plane took off from Syria's T4 air base in Homs and flew very quickly towards Israel before being shot down and falling into the southern part of the Syrian Golan Heights. So here you can see on this map, it is really incredible. Lots of things going on after and before this jet was shot down this morning. Look at all of that. There were sirens all over, red alert warnings all over the Golan Heights. Not sure if you can see this too. So that was a couple of hours ago. I'm going to go through all of these as quickly as I can. Said there were air defense missiles shot from the Patriot missiles on unknown target. Israel Army says 2 Patriots were launched at the fighter jet. which penetrated a mile into northern Israel. Israel said air defense intercepted the Sukhoi plane after penetrating into the Golan Heights. That the plane landed just inside Syrian territory. Pilot ejected in the ISIS-held part of the region, so it's probably not good for the pilot. Syrian government admits the fall of an aircraft by Israeli fire. Syrian military confirmed the jet was shot down along the border. The pilot mistakenly crossed over the border after bombing Daesh in the northwestern corridor of the Yarmouk Basin. Israeli Defense Forces say they're on high alert due to the heightened internal clashes in Syria today and increased activity by the Syrian jet fighters. Two Israeli Air Force airborne early warning went off. Israel says it issued multiple general warnings to Syria, Russia, that it would not tolerate government aircraft coming over to the Golan. This Israel military said that the jet crashed in Syria about an hour ago. No sign of a parachute. Israel's military says warnings were given in a number of languages in several different channels before the Syrian jet was shot down. The colonel who was the pilot of the downed aircraft was killed. That was confirmed about an hour ago. Here it says, according to Sputnik News, Syrian pilot killed and the other missing in action after the plane was hit by an Israeli missile over the Golan. The Israel ambassador to the UN says Syria was warned not to breach the 74 Separation of Forces Agreement. That was 3 minutes ago. I'm just going to refresh this screen. See if there's anything else new. Sorry, friends. I don't know why my computer is so slow this morning. I think it has to do with all of these news things opening up. Let's see. Okay, so the very latest I see is 18 minutes ago when the Israel ambassador to the UN said Syria was warned not to breach the separation of force agreements. So friends, we have some serious issues going on over Israel. I don't know how Russia is going to respond to this. I know they've been talking as of just the last day or two, so we don't know where this is going to lead. If this is going to lead to some proxy war with Iran, I just don't know. We're going to continue to watch this breaking news. If there's anything else that comes about this morning or this afternoon, I'll try to put out a video on it. But friends, we are living in the last days. It is incredible the things that are happening. There's going to be war any day now above Israel. I believe it will probably be from the Syrian portion up north and the Gaza down south. And of course, you know, we have all of the enemies against Israel on the east, so they are really boxed in. But the good news is God's going to protect them, and it's going to be God who takes care of them. Which is really interesting because it doesn't say that some country, big beautiful country over in the west, you know, helps them, like the United States. It doesn't say that. It talks about God Himself. So, we are so close to the very end, friends. We are going home very soon. Things are heating up over in Israel. We'll be watching the news. Stay tuned. God bless you all. And Maranatha.